It is always best to get your job file a couple of days prior to your pre-job walkthrough. That way, I like to sit down and break down my job task by task to see each step that it's going to take to complete the job. If you'll do that, then you'll know everything that's going to go on from start of the job to completion of the job. To me, the most important thing you can do to get a job running smoothly is with your pre-job walkthrough. When you have your project manager, superintendent, and a project foreman, everybody knows where the job is going to start and where it should go to end up with completion. Step by step, any rented equipment that needs to be rented prior to, any materials that need to be ordered prior to, the pre-job walkthrough is where everything starts at. There will always be things change from when you get your paperwork prior to the pre-job walkthrough. There's always going to be tricky situations that you have to deal with. We was doing a fin removal on a project we're finishing up right now, and removing and replacing the fins was kind of a tricky situation, so we did not really have a set way of how we was going to remove and install the fins until we all put our head together at the pre-job walkthrough and came up with an idea of using 1/4-inch dowels to tilt the fin up and put the fin back on there to roll the fin away back from the edge of the building to where we can secure it. If your foreman is being informative and bringing up ideas to the group without being asked and sharing input, that is a great sign that he understands on what is going on at that point.
Yeah, we have manila folders. I'm usually given a manila folder that will have all of the details that the engineers came up with. It'll have our work proposal. It'll have all of our phase codes. It'll have our safety stuff. It'll have everything that I'm going to need for the job. The branch manager, the project manager, myself, and the superintendent will sit down and we'll go over, what we're going to do for this job, what we're going to need, how we're going to move forward. And then after that meeting is when we go into our pre-construction meeting. And it's taking what we have learned in our in-house meeting to the table for the pre-construction meeting and going over what we have done with them to make sure it'll work out well. After the pre-construction meeting, I feel like I get more knowledge from the building owner or the maintenance guy, or whoever it is, of what they would like me to do first, second, or third, or where they'd like me to start my work. So after I get that information, that's when I come back and sit down with the project manager and we get our highlighters out and we just color off sections of the detail, what we're going to do first, second, and third. And when we come up with a good game plan, we bring that back to them and just okay it with them. I actually have one of them right here. I'll show the camera. I usually go with a highlighter and I go through phasing. So I'll mark off what my first phase of work is going to be with a yellow highlighter, and then the second phase with a different color, and so on and so forth. Once we discuss all of the certain projects in each phase and we're comfortable with what we're going to do, we take that back to the building owner, show that our proposed schedule to them, and make sure that everything's going to work out fine, and then get some good ideas from them on how they would like to move forward. Some of the things we have to think about when we're working with the building owner is what's most important to them to get done first. It could be maybe in front of the building they have a lot of traffic and they like us to only work in this area at a certain time, or perhaps we have some weather that's coming up and we know we need to get some certain products on the ground before it gets too cold, and we take that all into consideration before we even move up the job, so we know where we're going to start and where we're going to finish. If you can stick to your schedule and come up with a really solid game plan and give them dates when you're going to be in this location and when you're going to be out of this location, and sticking to that, that goes a very, very long way on getting more business in the long run. Building owners don't want to tell their employees or tell their customers something is going to be a certain way for a certain time and be wrong on that. So I guess just coming up with a solid game plan and sticking to it is very important. Everything that I do with our project managers and our salesmen, that all goes right down to our workers. I really feel like the more everyone can be on the same page as far as everything, the whole job goes, the more productive we are. I guess just having an open conversation with the guys would be the best way to explain it. Not so much as reading off of the paper saying, hey, we got to watch out for this, we got to watch out for this, we got to watch out for this. That kind of goes in one ear and then it slides out the other. But if you just have a regular conversation with the guys and just, talk to them about what's going on the job site, people seem to understand that a little better, and it seems to stick. I feel like maybe a lot of times guys go into a project and they think that they're just going to figure it out and they'll do it. And sometimes you can, but it's really best if you're unsure of something, just ask the question. It's always easier to ask the question and get it figured out right away than it is to do what you think is correct and have it be incorrect. It costs time, it costs money. So be prepared and don't be afraid to ask. No one knows everything.